You're listening to Off the Card, an action figure podcast, a show about action figures by kids trapped in the bodies of grown men. And here they are, Billy Cooper and Eric Murphy.
Thank you for the introduction, Paul. All right. Joining me as always, Eric. What's up, man?
Not much.
All right. And it's me, Billy. And this has been a week or two after the Geek Meet. We're going to discuss the Geek Meet, kind of go what we thought. We're going to roll into Haulathon, and kind of the debacle, kind of. I don't know. And then we're going to talk about Todd McFarlane. Sticking his foot in his mouth.
That's a long pause on the sticking part.
Well, I didn't know where he was going to stick it. I just kind of had to find it whole. So, so Geek Meet, from ITCE Productions standpoint, we were extremely happy with what we thought. I called the number before the show. We beat that number. That was very good for us. So, we've already scheduled out for next year, and it's going to be a nice side show to our big spectacle in Wilmington.
It went over really well for our first time out, for a new county that we'd never been in, for a new town that we'd never been in.
Our re-entry to the indie adjacent market.
And re-entry after the pandemic on top of that.
And after the pandemic, very good. We had straight vendors come over. My goal, and I'm going to call it here after we're getting rolling, I'm just going to come out. I want every single toy store or collectible store in Central Indiana represented under that. That's just how I'm going to be very aggressive about that. I think there's a lot of people that should have been there, and I think they ought to put their best foot forward and put their BS behind them and out. So if they can't do it for the community, then we'll figure it out for them. That's where I'm kind of at. But no, I did picked up some stuff. I picked up that. If anybody knows me, they know that my taste is weird. I picked up that Thor cut out the head of that Mike Epion 5, and it's Death Little Thor. It's hanging over on the wall. I grabbed that and some other figures. I was pretty happy with the day. A lot of different vendors. What did you end up scoring?
I grabbed, I got my Hellraiser NECA that I was after. I've been after that pinhead for a minute. Yeah, I finally got that one. Picked up some wrestling figures, some loose old ECW ones from the 90s. Nice. Picked up a Tommy Dreamer and a Taz. Trying to think what else. It's been a couple weeks. My brain kind of shut off.
The Taz figure looks exactly like he looks now. He's just kind of bloated and stiff.
Yeah. That's why I started looking like, this is too good not to get. Trying to think what else that I grabbed. My brother hooked me up with the Stay Puff Mini Puff set that was a Hasbro Pulse exclusive.
That was a really cool set, man. Yeah. That was really cool to see that.
There's a couple other things I'm trying to think. Yeah, no, that was pretty much it. Then I bought some craft stuff from a couple people. I forget the young ladies that were making the purses and the like little glasses cases and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I grabbed a thing for Dawn, a sunglasses case for Calvin and Hobbes, because she's big Calvin and Hobbes fans, and some art pieces. Bought our ITC coaster set.
Oh yeah, I got a set of those, and I got flasks too. Oh, give me some flasks. It's pretty cool. I guess I can put my peach 0-calorie monster in it.
Yeah,
it's because I drink anymore. So, it was good. What else did I get? Oh, so everyone that knows me, that follows me on social media and stuff, knows that I ordered a Todd McFarlane figure and got the platinum one, which is the unpainted version of Swamp Thing. So I contacted, reach out. One of the guys that enters the custom figure contest, does really, really good work. Reach out to him. I said, hey, man, would you turn this Swamp Thing that's all turtle-tailed and super articulate into a basically one of the camouflage Swamp Things? And he picked it up show. So that's being worked on right now. I'm fingers crossed. I'm hoping good things out of Nick. So I'll tell that as the stuff, the pictures come in. But I was like, I just found it fun. I was going to take this like hot collectible figure and just let somebody just open,
draw over it.
Yeah, it made me happy because I don't. Whatever. Geek Meet, huge success for us. We can do better though. We are going to expand into the room next door as well with the stage and stuff. I ain't going to give anything away quite yet, but we are definitely going to go that way and expand the show. We think we can make it bigger. But we liked it. We enjoyed great weather. Completely dumb luck on the weather. Like it was 70 something degrees that day. We're running shorts and stuff, and then like the next Tuesday after,
it bottomed out.
Yeah, like 19 degrees or something. Yeah. So I mean, whatever. It completely dumb luck. So we'll be back. So what else we cover? Oh, Haulathon. So NECA got together with Target and decided they were going to release things over the next 4 week period or something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
And some of the stuff, I'm not seeing anything like exclusive to them other than like some of the autographs. So then it's this weird thing, or you didn't even know about it until a few months ago. But it's weird because so they put out a 8-inch clothed Elvira for like $35, but then they also went out for $100 that was autographed. And they put them on ships. They put those on those. They did a Howie Mandel Gremlin autographed. Well, I guess it'd be a Mogwai autographed Gizmo, and it was Kevin Eastman, Fugitoid figure, and some other stuff like that. And they put them out there on the shelves randomly at certain targets. It's for $100, and I ran into a few of them. I thought this was going to be more of a shit show. It seems like other than some stores not getting the stuff and some stores not putting it out, it kind of uneven. It seems like if you just wait, they're dumping it on the Target website. So, I mean, it kind of is what it is, right?
Yeah. No, I've been to 3 different Targets, Greenwood, Plainfield, and Bloomington. The only one I saw Haulathon stuff for was the Bloomington location. And it was an end cap, and it was just heavy-handed on Ninja Turtle stuff, a couple of Evil Deads, a couple of Gremlins, and then one of the Ultimates, Wolfman, the black and white packaging one.
Yep.
And I grabbed that one because they only had one. Other than that, it was... I think the turtle thing might be reaching its zenith at this point as far as want, because the shelf was full. Like they had all the side characters, the 4-pack that was $150. They were there abundant. I think maybe they may have to dial it back a little. I saw an article that they're discontinuing a handful of them, of the side character cartoon series ones. So I think they're going to start slowing down the print run on some of them because my local Walmart still swimming in super shredders.
Yeah, there are some Walmarts inundated with certain figures. My Walmart, for some reason, doesn't even have a section, but then this little end cap popped up full of the movie Turtle 2-pack. And I was like, okay, that's cool. I'm just glad, honestly, is I'm not a clear of that line. I know a lot of people are. I mean, they wouldn't be mass producing them like this if they weren't. I'm just glad people are able to get them. Like I know they're
2 years ago it was a nightmare.
Oh yeah, like Toga and Razor and that whole ordeal, and just really crapshoot if you were going to even find figures, and people were dumping mine. I mean, I get it. So it's cool that they're there. I'm glad that people can find them. I'm glad that it's not so much as of a headache. It shouldn't be this hard. Want to give them money.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? This is like any toy line, right? Or any collectibles. Like I want to give you money. Please make me this. And when you find it gets very frustrating, and it turns the fans off. So, but the only thing I've bought from Haulathon so far, let me, if you will, they have a Haulathon bag. You seen the bag? It's a black bag, and it's in cellophane wrapping, and it's hanging on a peg, and it's got NECA Haulathon screen printed on the side.
I saw those. Okay.
Yeah, so I bought one. They're like $5. Opening it up, and it comes with like a couple of stickers and a wristband and some stuff like that. Like there's like a bra or some stuff like that in it. So it was $5, and it was a really nice, heavy duty, like big, like tote bag. And I'm like, well, this will come in handy. It's con seasons here. Yeah. You know, it's like, hell, I'll throw it in my backpack, and it has a little tote.
Shopping bag, yeah.
Yeah, shopping bag. And it looked, it's got the neck on it and everything. So, it was $5. Whatever.
$5.
And it had like swag on it. I'm like, ooh, what's inside?
Yeah, I saw those. Yeah, they were literally thrown onto a shelf with the end cap stuff. It wasn't even peg hang. They're just like, fuck it. Just do them up on the back.
In the toy group that we in the Indiana Toy Collectors Unite, we had some people on there going, well, in the hell are they doing Target? The Avon Target is completely ripped apart.
Yeah, I was hearing smatterings of that.
When you walk through the door to the grocery side, the other side, you go right into electronics and the collectible stuff. Or in the movies and things like that, like right there, 2 step into the left. Now they're gone. Now they're in the very back of the store. And like toys is like halfway in the middle. It's an absolute mess. But I did find some of the Haulathon stuff there. It's literally like toy aisles, like a really, really, really run down Goodwill. Stuff like thrown on the shelf. Those Haulathon bags, pile.
Yeah.
Enjoy.
Got your I got your exclusives right here.
Yeah. I'm getting some. So it was pretty goofy, but I was looking, and it's like, oh, look, Haulathon stuff, and it was just like random erratic. It's like I feel like I'm in an old lady's yard sale. They're trying to get rid of all her like Niagara Falls dinners or some shit. So they were everywhere. Let's see. Oh well, let's go ahead and this is just take up a lion's share tonight. This episode anyway. Todd McFarlane. Well, I am a Todd fan. Typically. I think he's typically one of the smart guys in the room. I do not agree with most of all his choices. I think he's handled the DC Multiverse line very, very well. I think the reimagining and the reintroduction of the Spawn line has been well. I think his sport figures, I'm glad they kind of phased out. I don't think he handled that well toward the end.
No, he didn't.
So there's just some little things here and there with Todd. But I'm going to say he caused a huge uproar when he had an interview with Stardom Prime. He typically gives Stardomus access, to him. One of those guys that he has good banter with, and I like listening to their interviews, or when he interviews Todd. And Todd equated kids, boys, I should say, getting female action figures, turning them into serial killers. Is that basically the gist of this?
From what I read, it's more of he doesn't think there's, I don't know how to describe it. I read an article through, I think it's the one that you sent me, from Bleeding Cool.
Yep.
Basically referencing that there isn't a market for female toys that
female
boys
action
don't,
figures.
or female action figures.
Yeah.
That guys don't want to buy female action figures, and if they do, they have some type of weird fetish type of thing. And then they went deeper into the article about toy companies and how much they mass produce. They actually put percentages up for toy companies of how many male figures are made, how many female figures are made
for a toy line over
a toy line.
Year.
Yeah, Mattel sits at the top end of the list mainly because of WWE. But
they're still setting it like under like
20% on the nose.
Okay.
But the big thing with that is he's saying that nobody wants to buy female action figures, and if you do buy female action figures, you have some type of weird kink or something like that. And his company,
or you're going to end up being, as a child, you're turned into a murderer.
Yeah, something to that effect.
Yeah.
Problem is, they show the numbers of how much is getting produced by each company: Mattel, Hasbro, McFarlane, etc., DC Direct, whatever you want to do. They showed how much is made, but they didn't show how much has been sold. I think that's kind of odd. You're showing me 20% of Mattel's product is female made, but you're not showing me how much of the female product is being purchased. Every time I set foot into a toy aisle, WWE is the best example for me because I do collect wrestling stuff. Do I own any female figures? No. If they did at Ultimates like Lita or Trish Stratus from the era, that I might probably go grab one of those. I know there's a Sherry Martel that just got announced this weekend for WrestleMania All Access.
Looks really, really good. Yeah.
Look cool. Might get that one to go with the Macho Man. But of the new era, I probably wouldn't grab one. Maybe Rhea Ripley, maybe. But other than that, there's not ones that not because I don't want female figures. It's more just I don't follow the female division as hardcore as the kids do now.
It's nothing personal, and it's just they're not a character that you follow.
Yeah, let's change up on that. Let's say Hasbro, for example. Let's switch to Marvel. Female characters. I've already want to go and get on Hasbro Pulse and buy those retro VHS looking box sets of the X-Men cartoon series. They look like the throwback VHS boxes, the paint jobs on them. I want the I want those. Yep, I want the full run, and that has Jean Grey in it, that has Jubilee in it, that has Storm in it, that has Rogue in it. So I don't feel like his comments have a lot of merit to him because I'd like to see, he's saying that not much is getting made. Okay, fine, but how much is getting sold?
No, I agree. I agree. As a long-time action figure collector, I can tell you back in the 90s, if a figure was in a toy line, that figure hit the shelf because it was the short pack figure.
Yeah,
always the short figure. From what we call the monkey face Prince Leia Organa, all the way up to any character from like any type of Marvel line. You knew the figure was going to be the one to get out of the line, just because it was a one-up. And it was one pack per case, and they'd always do one like Jubilee or one Storm, and then they would do like Ewoolies, and then they'd do it. And that's how they broke it down. So those figures were quote collectible because they were pack.
Yeah,
and
even as a young person, for me, I mean, as a young kid, I had all the X-Men Toy Biz figures. Yeah. From the early 90s, and I had female figures, and it didn't because I didn't see it as I saw it as on one of the X-Men.
They're a superhero.
Yeah, that's what I wanted. It's the same way with, he brought up Wonder Woman and stuff like that. Same with DC. It's like, I don't get how you're seeing it that way. In the broader spectrum, and this is more of a dig at Todd McFarlane as a person, it's like, you're telling me this, guys have if you collect female figures, you have a kink. And I'm like, aren't you the one that's making like sadomasochistic BDSM looking style figures of females from the Christmas Run and Twisted Land of Oz and
he did
Tortured Souls and, Elizabeth Bathory. If you want to have that discussion, you better be prepared to take some heat back because every figure you've made of a female format, for the exception of the DC figures, are pretty much in bondage.
Yeah.
That's the reason. And then let's go into Image, where Image Comics, in general, for the exception of Wildcats, doesn't have a whole lot of female-driven characters in any of the comic lines that you've ever had through Image Comics. Spawn definitely doesn't, for the exception of Wanda, and maybe a little bit later on.
She's Spawn now, I guess, but
yeah. And it's like, you need to be a little bit careful about what you say, because if somebody does some deep dive digging on your past action figure releases and comic book releases, you really don't have a leg to stand on.
No, it's definitely, I don't agree with him 100%. I think about 25% though. I don't agree with the comment on the kids are going to be serial killers. I don't necessarily know if that's tongue in cheek, him goofing with somebody knows.
I can only hope.
I would hope, but do know that with the female figures, there's only they only go far. I don't know anybody that collects just female figures because it's a weird kink, and I know a lot of freaking collectors out there. But what I'm saying is just I don't think he's necessarily 100% right wrong when it comes to numbers. That a female figure in what he calls the boy aisle, which let's just honestly just retitle it's the action figure aisle.
Yeah.
The action figure aisle is definitely always be dominated by monsters, aliens, and big men wearing underwear and capes.
Yeah.
Or derivative of such. Of male fantasy, from anything from Halo to Batman to Superman to Masters of the Universe, G.I. Joe, so on and so forth. Hell, even let's throw Transformers in there. So it's always going to be, but having one every now and then, I do understand his thought process though when it comes down to he said that he would never do an all-female line. Okay, I get that because that's a gamble. Doing an all-female line made through a direct through Hasbro Pulse, like you brought up the X-Men animated stuff. Maybe he should do it. There's McFarlane's store, his club, whatever it is. Is it? Yes. I think they're niche for those figures. It's not like it was back in the day where everything female figure becomes cool. Like I can walk reasonably a couple of game stops and probably find a couple of the new Batgirl figures based on that new video game. Get it. Funko Pop has no problem doing females. Funko does it with the Pop line. Let's be honest, a lot of females. I mean, that's the truth. But then again, their demographic is not in the action figure aisle. So no. I think he spoke completely out of turn. I think maybe he was trying to be funny, not defending him by any means. Because I'm qualms with him with a couple of figures I bought recently. But I don't think he is the devil incarnate as some has painted him to be. I do think he stands a little bit more on that side of the demographics. But I do think does have very, I wouldn't necessarily say toxic, but I definitely feel that he has a old school grasp and understanding of what is play with it now.
Yeah, but I also feel like on the opposite, then there's a lot of young girls now that are buying they're buying male action figures. They're buying all kinds of action figures. Action figure aisle is now universal. It's not a male-driven or a little boy-driven department anymore. There's just many little girls that want action figures of all walks. They don't care if it's male or female. As far as a female-driven line, the first comment that got made that was shot across the bow, I'm going to tell you right now, they won't hesitate. They just probably haven't thought about it. They are like, why hasn't WWE done an all-female line for Mattel? You're basically challenging them at that point. They're going to react. And I got a feeling what's going to end up happening is you're going to see WWE react. Okay, we'll do a female line. We'll do a full line of the current stars, the Bianca Belairs, Bayley's, Rhea Ripley, Charlotte Flair, Becky Lynch. You'll do a full run of that, and then you'll do a classics run, and you'll have Trish Stratus, Lita, Beth Phoenix. You'll have a whole Attitude Era run. Probably see a Sable or Sonny. One can't stay out of jail. The other one's married to Brock Lesnar. And and you'll see a run of those, and they'll probably they'll do like a Hall of Fame series run.
I would encourage any toy company now to try to prove him wrong. I don't necessarily think he is 100% wrong, though.
No, there isn't. I mean, and he's right. There hasn't been any company that's done a fall female run, but at the same time, have they not done it because they don't think it's marketable, or have they not done it because they just haven't even thought about it?
Well, I don't think thought of. I think they're pretty smart. I think a lot of this though is they're setting the same numbers that he's setting on, and when he sees that, I know as much people give him shit on the DC Multiverse line. He says, "Hey, look, Batman sells. It doesn't even have to be Batman. It has to be a configure. A cool looking figure sells. It just have to be boys. It have to be male centric ears." And I think he drops in those females for the hardcore collector, like the guys like me that want I just got one from Target, the unmasked Batman Beyond, the female or Batman Beyond. I don't think he's 100% wrong. I don't think he's 100% right, but I definitely think he put his foot in his mouth. Probably I'll rethink that stuff. I don't think that little boy playing with a Princess Leia action figure in 1980 grew up a serial killer. That was a little dumb. Very. What's the kid say? He's showing his boomer show.
Yeah, because with that same ideology, then what's a little girl playing with a G.I. Joe mean?
Right. Is she going to grow up to be a softball player?
Yeah. Is she going to turn into a militant lesbian? I mean, I don't think so. I think she's going to be just fine.
I think my little niece in there running around right now playing some big Universal monsters is going to be just fine.
Oh, you mean Ella's going to play with a Darby Allin and aspirations to become a pro wrestler? Okay.
Well. After how much she gets her ass in there. That poor little's got a bad nose, a busted, she fell off the couch, the coffin dropped.
Yeah,
it's good times.
Yeah,
I mean you're right.
So it's like the
kids don't know any different because
they're kids. They're oblivious. They
haven't taught to these stupid things.
Yeah,
right?
At the end not to get on a rant like that, that's a taught behavior. Every kid out there that acts a certain type of way, if the same goes with race, that's a taught behavior. That is not something they are born from the womb going, I don't want this black figure or I want this girl figure. That is mom and dad going, you don't need that girl figure. That's for little girls. You're a little boy. It's taught behavior.
Yeah, kids going to play with what they want.
Yeah, they don't give a shit. They just want to play. Let a kid play.
Let a kid play. I know a few years ago, I remember me and Joy were at a Target. It was the weekend that Panther opened.
Yeah.
Little boy, and he was at Target, and he was sitting there, and he was with his grandmother, and he was telling her that he wanted those Black Panther claws, which... And that's the stuff that the toy collector we don't give two craps about, right?
No, nobody cares.
Those toys are literally for play. They're borderline disposable, but anyway, the kids love them. This little boy, this little white, and his grandmother had no problem whatsoever. He was spending his birthday money buying Black Panther claws because he wanted to dress up like Black Panther. He had no clue. Yeah. He did not care that Black Panther was an African-American man. He had no clue. He wanted to be a superhero.
Yeah.
He wanted to be a superhero. That's what I think people are missing when it comes. I understand that Farland's making more of a collectible toy line. Look.
That's the thing. I think the separation he's not making in his brain, there is kids that buy toys and action figures. Then there's the 18 and 24 collector crowd. He, I think, needs to separate those two. If he's going to make a comment like that, he needs to say, well, I think the collector crowd, the older crowd, that's, you know what I mean? I think he's not separating the two markets. There is two markets. He is making a collectible. action figure.
Lumping all these markets or all these demographics under one.
Yeah.
But if you break the numbers a little far, think, I agree with there. You're going to see that this figure is going to sell to this age group higher than this. I get that. I just think that backwards ass thinking. If a kid plays with a female figure or a bard or whatever,
they're going to turn into something.
They're going to be gay, or they're going to be, this or that. Don't let that boy touch my little punk. The pink might walk on him, and he's going to start, listening to Elton John and such, and that stupid type of mentality really doesn't have a place in 2022. You know what I'm saying? And
no.
So, I wish he would, back up on that stuff, but I do under the business side of things that he can look at something and say that, look, I'm going to make for every, 75 figures, I'm only going to be making three females. But how did I agree with you when you said earlier, I see how those figures sell. How many did he have to produce?
Yeah.
Because let's be honest, he's not done businessman. He's not going to sell something at a loss either. He's not going to sit and go, well, I hope we're even on that. That's not how that works. He doesn't see a market for it wouldn't be any female figures. So there has to be some sort of market. So I don't know. A lot of the other companies are just guilty as him though. Marvel, as far as the Marvel Legends line,
I think they're probably the most universal.
Yeah, they are. I mean, they're going to have to put out female figure because they're even from the MCU, they're very diverse. Not a lot of female. There is females. They're going to have to put those figures out. Or don't put them in the movie, right? Or the TV show,
exactly,
or don't put them in the comic books. So I remember what was it a few years ago when Toys R Us was around. Rest in peace to Toys R Us. When Toys R Us was around, they created a Marvel Legends box. I think it was A-Force. And it was all female.
Yep, I remember that.
All female. Didn't really sell well, to my knowledge. Oh, it's a hot commodity now because it was Toys R Us exclusive. There, and it's on the back end, the back market.
But on that end of it, did it not sell because it was female figures, or did it not sell because they weren't known characters?
That's where I'm at too. That's where kind of I was getting ready to go because some of the characters in there is a head scratcher. You're just like, huh, really? Okay.
Yeah, unless you're a hardcore comic fan, you would know who they were. But with the MCU and the movies and stuff like that, we've kind of hit this turning point of if they haven't made it onto a television series or into a movie, the kids don't know who they are all that well. And then that would come out and they're like, well, I don't really know who these people are. I've never seen them before because they're not reading the books as much as they're watching. So then you see like a couple of years later, they do a series and those characters end up in a series and then they go back and try to chase those figures back down because like, oh crap, that's that person.
And all of a sudden,
exactly. And then we deal with what we deal with now with scalpers where they go back, now they've just jumped the shark. Now they're buying stuff and holding on to it and waiting for a release to happen and then putting it up online. So it's kind of flipped around again, but no, I mean,
typically a Marvel Legends line feels like there's a female.
Almost every run, almost
it feels
every
like
wave.
It. Maybe I'm not paying attention. Maybe I'm completely clueless on this.
No, I think the last one that I saw was the Marvel Legends Villains run, and I think Lady Deathstrike was in it.
Lady Deathstrike was in that. I think in the Doctor Strange way there was an America Chavez. Look, the Generals line say well about it. I think it was half female. But none of those figures sold. They wouldn't.
Even the Deadpool figure run, which literally was 6 different versions of Deadpool, had Domino in it. Female and Domino. Yeah. So it's like they even got 2 female figures wedged in there, female Deadpool and Domino.
They sell. I mean, when you go and you go look at you wave a Marvel Legend, I mean everything sells because
Yeah.
I don't know.
Even G.I. Joe, which is a very hard and heavy-handed male-driven market. G.I. Joe probably is the most male-driven market next to Transformers as far as collecting. There is a female in quite a few of the runs, or the Baroness or Lady J. There's always, like, there's a new set out right now. I saw female figures in. Even for the Snake Eyes movie, there was female figures. I mean,
even in the movie, the G.I. Joe movie came out, there was, I think 3 female figures in that wave. So,
and those two markets, I will say. I mean, and also too, that market, especially G.I. Joe and Transformers, is kind of a heavy male market.
That's the original boy toy. I mean, that and Masters of the Universe for sure. But even Masters of the Universe, though, has of late.
Evil Lyn,
Baron, not Baron, Evil Lyn, and all the Tila and everything else. And even in the Revelations line, you're getting multiple Tilas and
Turtles
stuff,
is getting stuff, too, with April O'Neil and stuff like that. So, I don't know. I mean, and the thing is, if you walk around anywhere anymore, like where I work at, I see just as many girls out there with Ninja Turtle shirts on and G.I. Joe shirts on and WWE stuff. The big one, the Underlier, and this one kind of has its own subculture of kind of weird people, is the anime people.
Man, I'm telling you what, anime has always been female dominated as far as
even Dragon Ball.
It feels like it. Oh, yes. Yeah.
I mean,
I'm not a huge anime guy, but I will tell you, man, you can't throw a stick at a convention without running into a girl, a female that has a
whether it be Pokemon, Dragon Ball, Inuyasha,
even all that other weird stuff that I don't know the name of, right?
Yeah, and that is a market that does kind of have an underground creep vibe to it. It always has, but it's a separate market.
Yeah, I mean, and I'm not generalizing. I just want to say that I'm not generalizing, but it's definitely gotten more mainstream now. I should say.
I think it's cleaned up its act a little bit.
Yeah, but I remember back in the day, in the early 90s, the later 90s, that there was a certain local show that had a back room of kind of weird, squirrely guys watching anime, giggling because a girl showed her panties, something, and that was the cliche.
Yeah.
So
it's cleaned its act up,
mainstream, quite a bit.
I remember when you had your first shop, and I remember being in there and doing stuff. You had strict rules on, people would want to order stuff, and you're like, I won't order that. I don't want it in the store. I'm not going to order it. If you want to order it, you'll have to go through another store to order it, because I don't want it. I don't want it in the store.
No, because a lot of it was, and it wasn't anything against them. It felt like it invited a certain element.
Yeah, you're opening yourself up to something you didn't want.
I already had the bullseye on us back then, because we were in
small town market, Bible Belt town,
Bible Belt town. That was not well liked. I get it. So. But I do feel that it's definitely changed quite a bit. It's mainstream quite a bit in the last decade. From everything from the streaming services, the Crunchyroll doing all that stuff. A lot of stuff is making out like Attack on Titan.
Yeah.
That Demon Hunter show. I watched a few episodes of that.
Yeah.
It's pretty interesting.
Even the Teen Titans stuff.
Yeah, there's like crossover over anime. I mean, look at the Castlevania Netflix. It's very anime inspired. Fantastic. So I get it. It definitely.
And leading into the we're just brought up small town thing. That's another thing too when it comes to McFarlane's mindset. He's saying that female action figures are if you buy them that you have some type of weird issue or they don't sell. We can't speak for every market globally or nationally. In Pigs Knuckle, Arkansas, they might be completely swimming in female figures because they don't want them. But if I go to Chicago or I go to Los Angeles or San Francisco or, Florida, those markets, it might be the exact opposite. The markets are all different. So it's hard. You can't, the markets, that's the big thing.
I would love to see the numbers. I don't know where we can find these numbers. I'll reach out to people and find it. I want to take something. I want to take a wave of McFarlane figures that had a female in it. I want to take a look at that wave and see how many of them that he produced. Because everything's a one-up in most cases now. Other than certain Marvel Legends, if it doesn't come with the builder piece, they'll typically put in a case. I know that is true. So I'd like to see the numbers because he's got to make as many Wonder Womans, whoever that female character in that wave that he does the Superman's in that one. And I'm willing to bet that I'm ready to prove wrong. I'm thinking a female figure like a Batgirl is honestly going to sell more than just a Superman.
Yeah.
Because Bat fan is more marketable and cool looking than just.
Yeah. And then also the big thing is too, like everybody, for me, it's, I don't know how to explain it. If I walk up to a Coke machine and it's 90% Pepsi, and then there's one button that has something that you don't see that often, like, oh, I haven't had that in a long time, and I can get this all the damn time.
Right.
I'm going to, you know what I mean? So it's like, oh, hey, this is the 150th fucking Superman figure that came out. Oh, there's a Batgirl that just came out. I haven't seen that in a long time. I haven't seen this, something that's new, that's different.
Oh, man.
I'm going to grab that.
Yeah, wearing that outfit from the video game. That's
I will grab that because I can get another Superman, And then there's the other two things too that I think, unfortunately, one, it's on him. If you make a crap figure that nobody fucking wants, then nobody's going to buy it. So don't try to blame somebody because your female figure didn't sell because it looks like shit. Let's go ahead and just throw that out in the open.
No, Wonder Woman 89 or 84 with giant gold wings. It looked like trash.
Yeah, that's not. Don't blame somebody for your shortcomings.
Exactly.
Unless you're hanging out with the director from Ghostbusters 2016, don't blame somebody for your shortcomings. That's on you. You did that.
Yeah. You missed the mark.
Yeah, and then the other thing is, and I blame the entertainment industry for this one. Wonder Woman 84 is a prime example of this. If you make a movie and then do a toy line, and the movie doesn't do well, so the toy line doesn't sell, you can't blame the customer for the toys not selling. You guys are relying too hard on a movie to sell your toy, and the movie failed, and now you're stuck. And then it's like, well, they're not buying female figures. Like, no, they just didn't like your movie, so why would they buy something they didn't like?
Exactly.
Stop relying so hard on, if you're going to do a toy line.
Yeah, through the Halle Berry Catwoman of Barbie didn't sell shit.
Yeah, yeah. Somewhere there's a storage unit full of Fantastic Four figures from 2010 or 2014.
Right.
I'm not blaming anybody for buying an Invisible Woman because nobody bought the movie. Look,
I own an Invisible Woman figure. See?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it cost me no money.
No, that's my imagination. No, it's weird. It's that we in 2020 have to have a discussion about somebody owns a great toy company. He does, and he makes great stuff. I love him, hate him. I've always appreciated McFarlane for his kind of fuck you attitude when it comes to things like, look, I'm going to do this own. You don't want to make the toys I want to make, so I'm going to make my own company. You don't want to do the comics I want to make my own comic company.
Yeah, he's got the DIY attitude, and he always has.
He's got a very punk rock DIY attitude. I appreciate the shit out of that. But you also with him, he opens his mouth sometimes. And like I said, I don't think he's 100% wrong.
Yeah.
I don't make him 100% right either.
Yeah, that's why when I first read the article, like as I'm reading it, my brain instantly flashed to Dorothy in bondage. And I'm like,
okay, if you may,
yeah, this is it. You can't, You can't talk about how you're anti-prostitution when you have 3 dead hookers in your trunk.
Yeah, it definitely. The thing that got me with him was he was also somebody that fought years and years and years, and it was did tons of open interviews about this. He fought articulation on his action figures. He hated it.
Yeah,
he wanted to create this little nerd Hummels that didn't move. And don't get me wrong, bought a lot of those. Still have a bunch of them. And
as a die.
Yeah, they're great looking figures, but they look. Figure could be in question. You know.
Yeah, it's you're a breath away from a statue.
Yeah, and I get it. He fought that, and now he's doing this articulation thing. And it took him a while. So before crucifying him and attack Todd Manor with forks, let's see him redeem himself. Let's see him maybe step up and try to figure things out. But man, I'm looking around my room. I'll be honest with you, I don't collect a lot of female figures either, and it's nothing personal. If it's a figure I'm like, okay, that's a figure. As a red-blooded American male, heterosexual, I find some of the stuff they put out with female figures borders on creepy.
Yeah.
Some of the statues things that they do. And
yeah.
It's like,
weird interpretations.
Much. Yeah, it's a little much.
Yeah.
But it's not me, though. It's not me. And there's a market for it because it wouldn't keep making it.
Yeah.
So.
And for me, for the 2 markets, some of the markets that I'm into, I mean, obviously wrestling, they do make quite a few. For me, for the 3 things I'm into is wrestling stuff, horror stuff, Ghostbusters. Those are the big 3.
Wrestling does a lot with female horror, though. Is very sparse.
Well, yeah, and that's what I was going to get into. The fans are jumping up and down saying they want female figures for horror genre, and they're very few and far. And I don't know if it's because
a couple Jamie Lee Curtis.
Yes,
right?
That's recently, very recently. But as far as horror figures go, they're few and far between. And I don't know if it's because the female actors aren't signing over likeness rights, or if they're not offering them contracts. But
the lady from Nightmare Before Christmas, not Nightmare Before Christmas. I'm sorry, Jesus,
or Nightmare on Elm Street.
Yeah, Heather
Langenkamp. She's had a characterized version, a couple cartoony looking things, but it's not her likeness. You know, people are jumping down. Hey, I want a Danielle Harris figure from Halloween 4. I want, Heather Langenkamp from Nightmare on Elm Street. I want Alice from Nightmare 4. I mean, we did get a Reagan figure for Exorcist finally. You're just now getting Elvira action figure. You just now got a Jamie Lee Curtis figure. But there's not a market for female. They want, an Ashley Lawrence figure from Hellraiser. They want, if they did Reanimator, they want Barbara Crampton. You're not seeing a lot of female action figures. And the fans, they want them. That's the market. That's the one few market. It's like, if you make me a female figure from these horror movie franchises, they're going to dive on them. And
I've never seen. I don't think I've ever seen in person. No, I can think about it. Maybe once. I've seen the Jamie Lee Curtis Halloween Newer one.
Yeah, I've seen it quite a few times. I've seen the Ultimate set. Yeah, I've seen it quite a few. But they sell because the fans have been clamoring for years. Like, I want a female figure. Ghostbusters, not until the Plasma series figures start dropping, did we ever get a Sigourney Weaver. Or we got a few Janines, but we never got Sigourney Weaver. I think that might have been a contract dispute. Finally, we have gotten Janines. We're getting Sigourney Weaver. Afterlife, you have both of the female young girls that are in it. They have figures now. But at the time, for the longest time, you never, ever got Dana Barrett in a figure run at all. And finally, over the past couple of years, we've been getting them.
Yeah, the closest thing we've ever gotten really to horror movie action figures as part of females was, I know, the old Kenner Alien line.
Yeah, Ellen Ripley was the first figure, but again, it was a characterized version. It was a cartoon comic book style.
Well,
figure.
And then it was Vasquez.
Yeah, Vasquez.
Yeah,
other than that, and then the first female, I won't even say horror, figure, and I'll give him credit because these are the two, was Sarah Connor from Movie Maniacs.
Yeah, he did.
And
then
then Jessica Biel from Texas Chainsaw. Out of all of his Movie Maniac runs, he had three. I'll say technically three female figures across all Movie Maniacs runs. He had Sarah Connor, he had Jessica Biel from Texas Chainsaw, and then he had Species.
I guess you can get away with Fairy, Blair Witch, but those are monsters.
Yeah, but that's it as a female characters.
Well, you're right. It's very interesting history of female years. And he should know that because he's been a part of this.
Yeah.
So,
like I said, it could be contractual. I don't know if female actresses and their agents, I know Mesco did the girl from number 4, the bug. From Nightmare on Elm Street 4, the bug thing. They did one of her.
And it was kind of cartoon.
It was more stylized. It wasn't their actual likenesses. So I don't know.
I don't know because
that might go back on the entertainment industry. That might be one of those things where their agents are like, "Well, you're worth X, so you need to get this much money in order for this action figure." And I mean, that's why we're not seeing them.
I think maybe just comes back. They still have that melody that boys. These are boy toys. And boys don't play with females. I truly think it probably comes to that. But it's interesting. As someone that, like I said, grew up in the toy community, I remember when McFarlane stuff first came out. I remember when every Toy Biz line had that chase for one hunting that clear Sue Storm from the Fantastic Four figures,
which are back out now.
Yeah, way back then and all that stuff. So, I remember that. I remember Warrior Nun Ariella figures being worth money and Chase figure and different. The Lady Death from more Action Collectibles and glow in the dark versions. And there's always been, I guess, a market for it. It's interesting. I remember that lot era where every female figure. Hell, I remember guys at conventions. None of every figure they had at their booth was female.
Yeah,
it's like, hey, look, I've got the panties free or whatever it was called, Angela, where they got the paint her underwear on, and their own men tipping these action figures up, looking at looking at her panties on an action figure. Yeah. So blame it on Todd. So, but you think that the guy that basically invented those type of chase and that type of fever around action figures would understand a little bit of that. That's why a part of me thinks maybe he does. Maybe it's just being tongue in cheek because he was goofing. Or he completely put his foot in his mouth because he's an idiot.
Yeah.
Probably a little bit of column B. But he should know better than shit. Oh yeah. So other than that, and Mr. Todd, not smart man at times. Everything's rolling along. Seen anything new coming that or we can do that in a whole nother episode? Do we? We need to break that down because I've got some notes on some cool stuff.
Mm-hmm. So, because definitely we had quite a few toy announcements that's happened, and this weekend's WrestleMania, they did a big all access. A lot of figures got announced this week. There's a lot of stuff coming.
I seen. I was going to talk to you about that. Let's do that. Let's do that next episode. Let's break down. Try to go quick and do a wrestling themed one for all the new stuff that's coming out because I did see a lot of cool stuff. I seen something that really moved me. I'd like cover a certain online company. It's pretty prolific, pretty big in the wrestling world. Has their CM Punk figures just jacked up $4 or $5.
Really?
Yeah, the pre-order for his AEW.
Oh, the website that I've had complaints about.
I've seen that. I'm looking at other years, and they're like $24.99, $24.99, and that one's like $34.99. I'm like,
told you.
So talk about that more. So we'll come up with that later. But I was pretty over that one. Not So, and then that next figure of him. Yeah. So that one's going to be a mess. I think it's with the long pants. Yeah, we'll break down the WrestleMania, the announcements stuff, because I think AEW's done some announcements recently too.
They had their stuff from the Toy Fair announcements, but I think we covered that in the episode before.
Well, no, but I think they had. Was it the? Yeah, I think it was like the Malachi Black. They're doing their own version. We did.
Yeah, they're doing their own. Yeah, they're doing their own version of the Ultimates run with Malachi Black and Britt Baker and a couple other. Okay. So funny side thing. So Cody Rhodes is no longer with AEW. It's looking like he's going to show up this weekend at WrestleMania.
Wink, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Walked into a local Walmart, and those hard to find replica style LJN Cody Rhodes figures they did.
The ones in red, the Walmart exclusive one.
Yeah, the hard plastic in the blue box. Couldn't find them anywhere, right? Tons of them everywhere. It's like Tony was like, dump them out everywhere. I need them gone.
The blue one was, and the blue and white was released, and then the red and white is Walmart exclusive.
I haven't seen the Walmart exclusive. This is the blue and white.
Okay, I've seen a lot of red and white ones as well.
Yeah, so it's like all of a sudden the warehouses are like, get him out because he's not working for us anymore. Move him.
You know what? Man, it seems like that.
It's funny. It's
pretty hilarious.
Yeah.
It's pretty damn hilarious. I'll see if he shows or not. I'm going to watch WrestleMania.
So Samoa Joe showed up last night.
And EW, right?
Yeah.
Or Ring of Honor.
But he owns it now.
Yeah.
So he signed him to both. So now you have Samoa Joe. I mean, it's getting better. With it, oddly enough, he's conveniently letting out contracts of people that aren't worth anything that he originally had gotten, and he's slowly cycling through and picking up all the good ones.
I'm ready. I'm eager to see more of the figures come out, essentially. So we'll see. That's a toy line that's been really good about females. Whenever the
wave, so let's go ahead and put that out there. Todd, do you have an answer for AEW putting out the first transgender figure?
Yeah. Not Rose, right?
There it is. Yep. It's there. The elephant in the room. There it is.
Yep. So when you talk about wrestling, and we'll hurry up and wrap this up. We talk wrestling stuff. Do you watch any of Ethan Page's vlogs?
I've watched a couple. I couldn't get into it.
With his toy hunting and stuff?
Yeah. He's not good. To me,
he doesn't know a lot, but I do. Yeah. I enjoy watching his stuff. I find him funny. I think he's I think he's pretty. So I've been waiting for an Ethan Page from AEW.
You'll probably see one at some point.
It should be. I do find it interesting. Before we go, AEW they tag team up visually. They do not come out in like a box or a wide set, if you will, like WWE and E3 are doing.
Yeah,
I find that really interesting. Like you go in there and like you find each member of PR or the
because one of the announcements there's quite a few tag team box sets are coming out this year for WWE, and one of them is the Acolytes.
Really?
Yeah, it's Farouk and Bradshaw, and they're done up in the Acolytes with the titles. They wouldn't, and I think that's something that may hurt AEW in the long run when it comes to toy line releases. It's easier to sell a 2-pack than it is to sell each, because then if fans only like just Dax and they don't like, Dax Hardwood, they don't like Wheeler as much, you're stuck with a crap load of Wheelers sitting on a shelf, where if you would 2-pack them, you're putting him on like you have to take it.
Yeah, you are. Honestly, you can charge it there. $5 and throw a couple of accessories in there and move it all down.
Yeah, it's like, hey, I can't move a Wardlow, but if I 2-pack it with MJF and Wardlow together in their suits, I could probably move a crap ton of Wardlows.
I kind of want that, not the Wardlow, but the new one that's coming. I'm kind of interested now, and that one guy that I've actually grown to appreciate over the last couple of months. So,
anyway,
So, Todd, we're going to watch this as it develops going through the year. I'm with you. I think some companies might take him to task. Some might take jabs. Or, he might say, hey, you look, I proved you right. And, or proved you wrong. I don't know. So we'll see. We'll be back, and then we'll do, we'll be done for the night. We'll be back. We'll do a breakdown of all the WrestleMania, WWE stuff. And, man, it was a lot of it. It was a lot of it.
I've had to sift my way through it.
Yeah, a lot of it. So, hey, everybody, thanks for joining us. Find us on social media. And also to everyone that came up to us at the show and talked to us. Appreciate it. Gave away some pins. I know our next event that we'll be at, part of ITCE Productions, because we fall under that banner, will be, I believe, the Muncie Con, May 21st. Something like that. We'll post and everything. We'll be there as well. Stomping around, buying toys and engine, trying to not in trouble.
Yeah.
We'll be back. Find us online. Let know what you want to hear, and we'll talk about it. All right. Later, guys.